Lots going on, guys. Alyson and Alyssa, let's start with you. What were some of your takeaways from season 1, and how did you approach the second season? Did you have any changes, or what was your approach?
Well, we just were really excited to be able to make a second season, and we had sort of built upon this relationship between Annie and Trophy from the first season, and we spent a lot of the first season developing that relationship and having fun with them, and then this season we were able to kind of move out to the rest of the family and Fort Gator in general, and
Yeah, Trophy has death powers that include these undead crotch beetles that come out of her vagina to do her bidding. And her death powers really expand. This season, she can put the finger of a corpse into her nostril and then projects onto the wall from her eyeballs what that corpse's last moments of life were, things like this. She can do kind of anything with her death powers except be like a better person or a good mom.
Here?
Sounds about right. So it is a show with crotch beetles, but at its heart, it is a show about the fantasy family and their relationships with one another. How did their relationships and how does that family dynamic evolve in season 2?
Well, I mean, we really want to make a show for people who aren't getting the love that they crave. Maybe you're getting love, but it's not the type of love that you want. Maybe your mother hates you or thinks you're ugly. Maybe you're a lonely teen who the world says you shouldn't like what you like or look the way that you look or desire the things you desire. These are kind of our core characters. So the dynamics are very much pairing anxiously attached family members with avoidantly attached family members. P really loves his mama. He would love to crawl back up in her womb, but he has to settle for just directing the funeral home with her. And Annie, really wants her undead mom to hang out with her. But even after killing herself and being reanimated, Trophy's just really obsessed with finding a new sugar daddy. Yeah, goals.
I'd like to ask a question of Abby down there again. Can you give us a little insight into your creative process? As we've heard, there are some very outrageous and probably fun to draw characters on this show. How is it working with Alyssa and Alyson and bringing their vision to life and incorporating your own personal style?
Working with Alyson and Alyssa is really fun. When we started, I was just kind of drawing on paper just to the different characters, but really the process is kind of listening to the radio play and then trying to match the vibe of the character to the design, their face, and season 1, I drew the majority of the characters, and then they were obviously reworked a lot to be kind of like my style, but a little bit 20% more normal looking. Yeah, because I draw everything that everyone looks kind of like an elf or an alien or something. So these are humans. And season 2, we worked a lot more with other designers, and I was just kind of helping them get the style correct. Because all the main characters are already designed. But yeah, working with Alyson and Alyssa is really fun. Working one-on-one with them is very casual and chill and fun for me. And then working in the studio, I didn't really get to work with them directly as much because I was trying to help the studio design. But my experience was really great.
And as we mentioned, this show is set in a place called Fort Gator, Florida. Can you guys talk a little bit about why you decided to set the series there and what makes the setting so important to the world of teenage euthanasia?
So I'm from Florida, yes, and my Florida is the Florida man's Florida. real Florida is really, fascist right now. And I come from a place where you can get service without shoes, where there's a lot of explosives for sale, no matter what age you are. And so we really wanted to set the show in that type of Florida about 15 years into the future, where there's some technology, but it's only used to oppress you and sell you things. So we just see it as a true land of bad decision making, where anything can happen as long as it's not the right thing.
And our character is a reanimated corpse, and there was lots of questions like, well, but what, is she going to keep it hidden, or what are people going to say? And we were like, no, the show's in Florida, no one's going to notice or care. And that was a pretty important thing.
And as anyone who saw season 1 knows, you guys had some great guest stars on there. And season 2 is going to have a bunch. There's going to be Janelle James, Jinx Monsoon, Ziwe, Joe Cara, Sophia Bush, H. Sean Benjamin, he was on season 1 as well. And even a little bit of a Succession reunion with J. Smith Cameron and Kieran Culkin. Did everyone you asked just say, yes, we love you? Or who were you most excited to work with? And did any of their performances surprise you?
Jinx Monsoon was someone we wanted right from the beginning, and it was just finding the right spot for her. And she's so funny, and she really did her research and came in like barrels blazing. Another person who I really wanted and who kind of surprised me was actually Rachel Sennett. She's in 2 different episodes, and she brings it so hard. I'd never seen someone move around that much while they were recording. They kept trying to have to remind her to talk into the mic. And then, Kieran Culkin was like, we were freaking out. It's like, it just was so exciting that he wanted to do it, and he had a lot of fun, and he has a really big part in his. Ben Platt plays a love interest of Baba's. They have kind of a Harold and Maude where she has to teach driver's ed, and he's trying to learn how to drive, and he falls madly in love with her, and he's amazing.
Paints her nude.
Yes, he's a painter. He's an artiste.
And another distinctive quality about the show is the music. I mean, you have that incredible Dusty Springfield cover as the theme song, so I wanted to ask you about that. And also just ask you how you kind of collage together the soundtrack and what role you think the music has in bringing.
If you like cartoons, movies, books, music, I demand you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, be prepared. Subscribe or be prepared for doom. Do not resist. Do not resist. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe.